Hey everybody. Hey, I'm going to be doing a slab built plate with a thrown foot this morning, and I want to get it done because I got a ton of work. So I'm just going to give everybody a second while I get stuff together. Hey, thanks for joining. I know it's early, but I got to get it done. Thanks, Adriana. I'm going to now pull this up on my iPad so I can follow along with comments. So I'm going to be showing you how I build a plate, a slab built plate. Hey, and then I throw the foot ring and add it later. Early is good. I know, I have kids. I get up early, so I have to get it going. And behind me is my slab roller and a lump of clay. So let me get this hooked up. Alright, I'm good. Alright, so let's go. Thought I turned down mute. There we go. Freaky. Alright, so I have half a bag of clay here that I've cut in half. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you off this and show you what I'm going to show you working towards. So right here, you'll see, if I can get back far enough, I have got some cake. These are called cake platters. You get them at hobby stores or craft stores, and you bake cakes and you serve them on this. This is like a decorative thing. This is what hi Janice. This is what I used for my templates. These are my templates. So this is my layout. I'm going to go sideways. I'm making one large one that'll go on the wall, and it'll have 4 little ones surrounded. So it'll be an installation. It'll be a wall piece. This is for something I'm entering in an exhibition later. So I have these guys. Now I don't need this many for this project. They just come in a pack of, I think, 6. And I like to use them for my layouts. Just to get an idea, I put them on the floor. So what I really just need for today is one of these to cut my plates, and this guy here, my big one. Now this one is handmade. So I made this from a piece of cardboard, and I kind of went off this pattern. I just kind of laid it on and traced out a bigger version with a pair of, with a compass. You remember using a compass in 6th grade? Well, they are handy now. So I'm going to get to it. I'm going to put you guys back up on the tripod, and I'm going to beat some clay. Alright, so I start with my lump of clay. This is half of a 25-pound bag, so it's about 12.5 pounds. I don't weigh it, it's just half a bag. That's good. And I have my slab roller set to about, I think I have it at 5/8 of an inch, somewhere in there. No, that's maybe a little less, 3/8 of an inch. And I want to get this down, so I use a rolling pin and I beat my clay to get it down. This is the best way to start your morning. And then I flip it, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just stretching it. Beat that clay. And so now it's stretched out, and I'm just going to throw it. And usually I stand there, but I don't want my back to you guys, so maybe I'll try doing it from the other direction. So I'm just stretching this out. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to turn my back to you. Sorry. Don't want to be rude. What a way to start the day. I know. So I'm stretching this out more now for my length. And when I do this, I'm thinking about the plate that I'm going to make. And, you know, I have my template right here. So if this is the one I'm going to use, I have to make sure I stretch it out at least as wide as this template. If this is the one I'm using, you know, it's obviously not big enough. I don't know if you all can see that at home, but I'm going to have to stretch it some more to make that one work. And so it's just flipping and throwing the slab. Now, you don't have to roll out your slab. You could throw it, but I have a slab roller, so I'm going to roll mine. That's just how it goes. All right? All right, so let me check this to see if it's big enough. we're good. So I can do either side. I can do either size now. I have both of them all already. And I don't know, I'm gonna turn you, as I roll out my slab. I think my music is too loud. Is my music too loud? I feel like I'm yelling over it. No? We're good? Okay. All right, I'm rolling it. So it's like driving a boat. You gotta crank it. Did you miss the thickness? No. Well, I have it at about 3/8 of an inch. But yeah, well, half, I have a quarter. No, it's more like 3/8. I misread the little gauge. So 3/8 an inch, but it depends on what you're making. Yeah, if I'm doing a bigger plate, a bigger platter, I want it thicker. So 3/8 of an inch is good for this size, which is about, once it shrinks down, this is about a 10 to 11 inch plate. For this one, I'd go a little thicker because you need to have more support on the sides. But for this one, 3/8 is perfect. Got it? Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to move to the other side. We're going to walk with me. We're going to come over here. Oh, it's kind of cool having it on the tripod and moving it. All right, I'll put you all up here. Turn you this way. All right, we're at the other side of the slab roller. The other end of the studio. Put you in here so you can see. Ooh, gotta go that way. All right, I don't know if how well that works. It's kind of iffy. I'm gonna reposition it as soon as I get a sec. All right, so I have my slab. The thickness of the canvas, no, okay, that's a very good question. I would guess it would have to, because that's the space you're getting, right? So I always set it a tiny bit thicker. Than what I would normally think I want something to be, and it comes out perfect. So yeah, I guess that must be not including the canvas. All right, so I have my slab ready. I wonder if I can put you guys up on the slab roller. This is a new setup here, because I want you to be able to see what's happening. There we go. Now you can totally see the slab. Let me grab my rib and my knife. Okay. So, because I roll it on canvas, I have this texture I want to get rid of. And if you have something else you use to roll it, you know, if you don't have a canvas, if you have one of those slab mats, the smooth ones, then that's awesome. You don't have to do this step. But, you know, I was thinking about that the other day when I do this. I'm not only smoothing, I'm compressing the surface. And I don't really have any problems with cracking on my pieces. So I think this is why. I think it's the smoothing that prevents the cracking, the compressing. So I go in one direction, and then I switch and go in the other. And I'm not trying to squish it or disform to like change the shape. I just want to smooth it. And I do the whole slab at once. Compressing, yeah. Yeah, I think compressing is really important. Judy, if you're out there, compressing is important. Maybe not always, but in this case, you definitely want to compress. All right. I know, if we're following Judy with her compressions issue. So I have that laying out, and I'm just grabbing a board quickly to transfer it onto. So I need to compress the other side because it has the canvas there as well. So I'm going to rough cut this shape out. I'm trying to get more of this. Wait, maybe this way. Oh yeah, that. There. All right, I'm just going to rough cut this plate out. Sun is shining. And then I'm going to flip it. I have a board here standing by. And usually I have a stool sitting next to me. I don't have that here today, so I am just going to pull this up and flip it onto a board. So here it is on the board. I'm going to get this out of the way. You just got here. I am making a slab-built plate with a thrown foot. And what you're seeing right now is the slab that's been rolled out. And I'm just going to smooth. I'm smoothing and compressing the slab to get rid of the canvas marks. I'm going to come forward a little. Sorry guys, I'm moving you. Air view. No, I don't. I'm just really trying to smooth out any of the canvas and compress the clay a bit, but I don't want to distort it. I'm not trying to thin the slab at all. I'm not trying to move it. Alright, so that's done. I'm just going to lift it up so it's not stuck to the board. Sunshiny scopes, yes. Alright, so I just lay this on, and if you look at, these have two sides. One is a laminated side and one is a cardboard side. It's better to use the cardboard side because the laminated side will want to stick to your clay. Hey! And so I just hold this lightly with one hand. I'm not pressing hard because I don't want to squish this template into the slab. And I just cut the form. These are so great. You guys have to go get them. I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. But they're so easy to use. Good morning. And you don't have to put a foot. Like, you could just do what I'm doing right now and then press it into the foam and be done. Like, that could be it. Yes, very uniform. Now I'm going to take away the excess. Just pull that all off. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love that shape. I love it. I love the scrolling pattern. So this will just sit aside. You can see it's really flexible right now. There's no way I can press this into foam, because if I do, it'll just flop right back down. So I have to let it set up. Usually I'll let these sit for a couple hours. It depends on humidity. And you guys will know in your own studio what I'm talking about. You know, how fast things dry and all that. So I'm going to make a couple more off the slab because when I throw a foot ring, I want to get multiple feet, right? 3 minutes. It takes 3 minutes in Texas. Hey Lisa, nice to see you. Glad you can make it. So I'm grabbing another board. Can I show the foam? I will show the foam right now. Let me go grab it right this second. I was going to cut a few more of these guys, but I will show the foam. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa, inviting followers. No, not right this second. I'm going to cut this out. So again, I just rough cut. And I've got a pile of scrap back here. That's what I'm going to use to throw my foot ring. Alright, and so I've got another board here. I need my stool. It's not going to work without it. Alright. So next to me off camera, which you guys can't see, I have a stool, and on it I have a board balanced. Yeah, the scrolly shape's awesome. So this piece is not going to work for anything. So we're going to move that off. Alright, so here's my big board. I got my big board ready. And compress again. So I think I'm going to get 3 plates out of this clay that I put through. And then I can wedge up the leftover and put it back through and get some more plates if I want to, but I think I'm just going to throw the foot rings instead and with this clay. Haha! Well, so this comes in a pack of 6, and I write porcelain or stoneware. I don't make them, I don't use low fire, so I'm really just using stoneware and porcelain. So I'll write that on it, and that'll be the template for that clay. I don't have the shrinkage rates written on these because my porcelain, I use the same porcelain and stoneware, and the shrinkage rate is the same whether I'm making a slab plate or a throne cup. But this plate is right now about a 12-inch diameter, and it shrinks up in porcelain to 10.5. So that's what I end up with, is a 10.5-inch plate. The slab I rolled is 3/8 of an inch, but you know, you can pick your thickness. It depends on what you're doing. This is porcelain. I don't want it super thick. Yeah, this is a pre-cut shape I bought. Yeah, these are cake platters, but I do make my own as well. Yeah, I just saw this in the store one day. The cake decorating, like with the Wilton supplies, like the frosting and all that. It's over there. So I'm going to rough cut another. And if you're using a stoneware, you could, of course, go thicker. You know, you could go thinner. It's just, when you go too thin, you have warping issues. You know, if this is a plate, right? You want it to be able to be used, not too fragile. Yeah, I know. I get lost in the craft stores. I could just like stay there forever. Yay! Cool, you'll have to share it. Put it on Potters of Periscope on the Facebook page. I want to see it. Share it when it's done. And you don't have to, you know, make plates. You can make tiny little dishes. You can make platters. I use this for all those. Warping. I know. We all have warping issues, don't we? All right, so that's ready. Now I'm going to cut. Troll the hobby store. Trolling in Michael's. I just love going in there. It's like always, it's like, ooh, I can go into Michael's and just look at everything. And I want to, you know, the problem I have is I'll see stuff and I'll be like, ooh, I know what I can do with this, 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 and this. That would be cool, scope it. You know, I always get like wanting to try everything. All right, so, ta-da! So you notice how exactly the same the borders of these are, right? Here's a smaller version of a finished plate with this template. So this plate here, I have this template in a smaller size. So they come in different diameters. This I think is a 12-inch. It comes in a 10-inch. The 10-inch shrinks down to a 9-inch. No, 8.5. I'd say 8.5. So here's one finished. So it has the soldier on it and the rifles and then the decaling. Is this template round or oval? It's actually round. I mean, I would say round, if you could call it that. It would be based on a round template. Boring. I know, clay is boring. Who wants to do that? Nobody. Right. Said no one ever. All right, so now I can't hang this back up. There we go. Got it back on the wall. All right, so these guys are done. And I can't really do anything with them other than wait for them to dry. And I'm running the heat in my studio, which means blown air because it's a pellet stove. So it will dry fairly fast. So I can do these later this afternoon. I will be able to, well, I don't know, maybe in a couple hours. So now I'm going to quickly throw a foot ring, and I'm just off to the side here. If you can't, I know, finger wrapping, which I'll wedge so you guys can see me wedge. Don't want to watch me wedge. Boring. Who wants to watch someone wedge? I'm going to throw a cylinder, though. That'll be super exciting, right? This clay is really soft because it's fresh out of the bag, and I love it. I love it when it's soft. It's my favorite. Hey. All right, here we go. All All right, now, you lucky people, I'm gonna take you to my wheel and we're gonna throw. Toot, toot, toot. If I can get there. Toot, toot. I need multiple, I need multiple setups here so that I can throw and just move the tripod. And then down to the wheel. There's the wheel. Currently the wheel has the templates on it, but I will take those off. You know what? Catching someone wedge clay. Yeah, I know. I'm moving it to the other side, I decided. I like, if I could get someone else to wedge my clay. Size of foot. We're going to do it now. I'm going to explain it all. All right. Put you so you can see my wheel. All right, that's good. You guys can see the wheel there, right? We're good? And all right, so move my templates off. And that's my, here, I'm gonna pop you off. This is my template stash. So these are all my templates. I have like piles of them over here. Judy, you missed the compression discussion. So here's this, all right, porcelain template, finish size 8.5 to 8.75. So the 8.5 is the porcelain, 8.75 would be the stoneware, yeah? So, there you go. Good morning. Oh, your mom's visiting. Here's a template that I made out of just craft foam, which is not great because it's so floppy. Here's a little guy made out of cardboard. And here's a big one that I bought, cake plate, happening. And that's for porcelain if you didn't guess. They also make them monstrous. Here's a platter one. Look how big that guy is. That's like 17 inches, I think. It's huge. And they come in cases. Here, this will help you out. Cake boards. So that's how they come, in a pack. This one was 6 of them in a pack. But you don't have to only use those. This was a pack of little trays that they were getting rid of in the holiday aisle. Yeah, so this is cardboard. It's not awesome. Here's I got fancy once. Here's a template that I made out of masonite, like a masonite board, right? This is for a platter. Yeah, I know. I have template issues. I need to see a therapist. Anything that can be made into a template. Oh, look. Here's how they come. 10-inch cake circles. Ooh, these are cake circles. So they just kind of pile up and get out of hand and take over. They have the whole shelf in my studio. So, yeah. Plaster molds. Well, I have some bisque molds, but alrighty. But to business. We are going to put these down, and we're gonna throw down. I'm gonna lower this. Maybe. Well, I don't know. I really hate this tripod. Have I said that yet? Dollar store placemats. Oh yeah, I haven't checked out the dollar store, but I bet they have a lot of good options. Anytime that they change seasons, could you extrude the foot? Of course. Of course. Why couldn't you? Right? I mean, all you need is there. How's that? Good? Maybe come down a little more? Don't give you any more ideas. Alright. That's kind of a weird angle, isn't it? And I'm sitting way up high. This is kind of weird. Alright, so we were talking about the size of the foot, right? He's not an actual neighbor, because that would be awesome. Who are we talking about, Judy? Maybe it's better if you're more across from me, less on top. What do we all think? Sorry. Sorry about what? Don't be sorry. There's no need to apologize here. Nobody has to apologize. All right, so it's 30 degrees outside today, which is not great, you know. Oh, you can talk about Bruce. Oh, he was in my music. I'm listening to U2. I've got U2 happening right now from Muzak. So I think you heard Bono. So it's 30 degrees this morning outside, which is a little cold. And my studio was at about 50. He's Judy's neighbor. Lucky Judy. So my studio was at about 50 something all night, which is okay, but not great temp-wise. So I have in my studio, I keep an old, I showed this before, but you know, hey, I keep an old electric kettle. And what I do to get the water jump started, because I do have a fish tank heater in my bowl, but that's in my stoneware wheel. So I have two wheels here. I don't know if you all noticed that. I've got two wheels. So this is my stoneware wheel that you're looking at right now. And the stoneware wheel has a fish tank heater in it to keep the water warm. So this water is actually really nice right now. Hi, Jamie. But this one is my porcelain, and my porcelain wheel doesn't. The bowl is small. I don't have I could put a bigger bowl and buy another fish tank heater. I haven't. What is it? What is what? A fish tank heater? Okay, you have to ask me again, what is what? Good morning. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. So, this is my bowl for porcelain. And it's not big enough for a fish tank heater, so I'm heating the water with an electric kettle. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. So it's almost ready. Electric kettles get hot really, really fast, which is awesome. So you don't have to wait around. And I'm going to shut it off. And I'm just going to pour it in my bucket here. A wheel for clay, I know. Well, so it didn't start with me needing two wheels and being like a diva about a wheel for each clay. The way it started was I would teach private lessons in my studio, and when a student would come, I would need to be able to throw. I would have to throw with them, right? So I needed my own wheel, or that's how I justified it, right? I have to have my own wheel. Periscope kicked me off my iPad. I wonder why. Let's get it back on so I can see your comments. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to throw the foot ring. Tell my hubby that. Exactly. See, I might teach one of these days. I don't know. So my private lessons. Yeah, it works out great, except when you get like that creeper student that won't leave you alone and they show up at your house at like 8:30 at night wanting to trim their pots, and you're trying to get your kid in bed. You're like, this isn't working for me. Yeah, oh yeah, it happened. That's you. Is it bread? It's clay. So here's my template that I had that I was using earlier. And when I press it in, here it is. So when I press these, it's because I'm so cute. I think it's because I'm so nice, and I really love to teach, and I really like to help my students, and I'm very open to them, and I'm always like, oh yeah, we could do that, and I always want to be accommodating and help them out, but sometimes it doesn't work. I am making a plate that is thrown. I'm noise. It's a plate that is thrown and slab built at the same time. I'm trying to keep my iPad from tumbling into my wheel. Stay. Okay. So if you're a plate to eat foods, yes, it will be, you can eat off this plates. Yeah, it'll be out of clay. So here's the slab if you're just tuning in. So I rolled out a slab of clay, and this is the shape we have. And I will press this in the foam. And then I will attach a foot ring. The foot is the bottom, which is what I'm going to make right here. I like eating off of plates, not necessarily eating the plate. And the shape of that plate, do I have a bigger one? I don't. I showed the small plate earlier, so I'm not saying in an Aussie accent. Alright, so here's my template. And this is the board, also from Hobby Lobby, in the wood section. Haha, we have a puppet. Toby just joined. Hi, Toby. Yeah, so here is my template. Here is my board. I'm going to take this board and I will press it into the slab of clay. That's right, all the hubbies have to buy a second wheel now. That's my fault. So I'm going to throw, so this is, you guys are getting me off track. Yeah, it's way laggy. It's way laggy. So I'm sorry if I seem really disconnected when I'm talking to you guys. It explodes. So here's my plate. This is the board I'm going to press into foam and pop the sides up with. So this part here is going to be the bottom of the plate. And I'm going to find a done one because I can't do this without, I can't do it without the visual. Hold on, I'm getting a plate, everybody. There's a plate. I have to walk around. Talk amongst yourselves. Little chatter is good. You guys can talk it up. Talk, talk, talk. All right, found a done one. Okay, so here we go. You roll out the slab, right? You cut it to fit. You press the plate into foam with the board. You throw your foot ring and attach it to the bottom and you get a plate. Finished plate, foot ring on the back. Now this is smaller. This is from my smaller template. I'm sorry it's laggy, you guys. So this is my finished piece, but smaller. The one I'm making today will be bigger by 2 inches. So I just wanted to show you finished deal. And to get to this point, I have to have a foot ring, right? So this is the diameter of the interior of the plate. That's this diameter here, right? And I want this diameter to match the foot ring diameter. They have to be about the same in order for the plate to hold itself up. You know, it's a structural thing, and so that the sides don't collapse, right? You would like your plate to look like that. You can make a plate like this, right? So in order to get my measurement for the bottom, all I do is use this. So I know this size here is as big as my foot ring needs to be, right? They have to be the same size. So the inside dimension and the foot ring have to be the same size. So what I will do is I will throw a cylinder, my pressy thing, this thing here, or, oh yeah, I lost my thing. So what is happening? This is wood. Wooden disc. Wooden disc I bought at Hobby Lobby. And so this is how I work. I go in, I bought this, and I knew I needed a board to press from experience inside it, so I walked down the wooden aisle where they sell these pre-cut wooden plaques. Well, they make them in circles and all kinds of crazy shapes too. And I just, in the store, looked at it and said, oh, these guys are going to fit. Or, if you're not in the store, if you're at home and you have a template, you want to think, well, how far in do I want to go? How much rim do I want, right? So you could just measure and say, oh, I need to have an 8-inch circle in order for that plate to work. So you could do it with any template, and these come in all different sizes. So you don't have to pick it up in the store. You can totally do it and just go in with a shopping list, right? Yeah. Your Michaels trips. I know, I love Michaels. All right, so this is going to be a cylinder, and this is going to make a lot of feet. Like, I'm going to be able to get far more than 3, so I'm going to roll out more clay and cut out more plates, because that's just a waste. Just a waste. All right, so I'm going to throw some clay here. Going to Michael's now. Right, you can't scope and drive. Crack me up. Now, I like to throw wet. That's just how I roll. Get throwing. I am throwing. I'm throwing now. This is throwing. As you might have noticed, my wheel is a Bailey wheel and it's all completely enclosed, which is awesome. I don't take anything out to clean it. Like, this is it, right? So I can make as much of a mess as I want, use as much water as I want, and it doesn't matter. There's a drain hole down here, and all the water drains down to a bucket underneath. So I can go to town with my water. I can use as much as I want. So I'm just getting a really flat, basically like a cake, you know, and this is what you would do if you were maybe going to make a plate on the wheel. You would start this way. So I know this is not the dimension at all, but I just like to check to be sure. So I'm going to press it out a little more. And you see it get wider. That's almost there. Ooh, towel. Yeah, so if you look, very close. Like maybe a quarter of an inch. I have been doing this full time since 2007. So 9 years I've been doing clay. All right, so I'm gonna open this. This is gonna be a cylinder without a bottom. So it's just walls, right? I'm supporting the outside of this as I pull because I don't want to distort it. I don't want to make it bigger if I can help it. I'm just going to scrape off any excess clay and check my dimension. Lisa, I keep getting kicked off. So I want the thickness of the foot ring to be about the same as the thickness of the plate. It is relaxing. I love throwing. I love clay in general. I like throwing. I've been on a hand building kick lately though. I'm just pulling it up, thinning out the sides. Before I cut off the rings. What about before I cut off the rings? Do I do what? Yes, yeah. I won't put the foot on until tomorrow. It's going to sit overnight. It has to be really, it has to be at the same dryness of the plate, and the plate was slab built, so it's already much drier than this thrown piece. I'm so sorry about, is the lag me? Like, is Periscope laggy, Lisa, or is my comments laggy? Yes, Dawn. I cover it overnight. Yeah. Good for lag. It's the Aussie thing. Alright, so, where's my favorite rib? There it is. Good? Okay, good. Glad it's not laggy. So I like to throw with ribs. It's Lisa. Lisa, I'm sorry you're laggy this morning. So I'm just going to use, I know you guys won't be able to see. Well, you can kind of see. So I'm just using my rib and my finger to try to get the wheel, to get the cylinder the same thickness. Ooh, a little wonky at the top, but it's not going to matter. Alright. Just for Lisa. I know, it's horrible. Poor Lisa. So this is my feet. And it's, you know, I want the thickness of the cylinder the same top to bottom. Now what I do is, oh my gosh, dig through my little collection. This is the sweetest little rib. how tiny this guy is. So little. So cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I got it from MKM Mud Tools. Not this Inseca, but last Inseca. And I love it. All right. So I'm going to mark off my feet rings. What's that? What's a rib? It's a pottery tool. It's a little wooden tool you hold in your hand and you use it for throwing. So you press it against the clay to make either a smooth wall or to shape it or to create a profile. So I'm going to measure how many feet I can get, and I'm just going to press this in. It's a little uneven. I'm actually going to even the top. Alright, so if you throw and your top's uneven, you know what we do, right? You just hold a needle tool steady and you cut off a little thing you could do something fancy with if you want, right? You can twist it into a braid, right? So now, theoretically, my top's even, height-wise, to use as a keychain. I like it when non-potters ask nice questions too. It's nice to be curious. This one, this would be a perfect keychain. And then you have a ribbon. You could also get one of the mud tools. So this is a little bigger. This is the smallest mud tool that's made, and this is the MKM one. And this is good. It's of course one of the really flexible ones, but this is my baby. Okay, so I'm gonna put my foot ring marks in. So this is just a measurement, and you decide how big you want your foot ring to be. And when I say, I guess I mean tall, not big, right? Because it depends how high you want your plate to sit up off the table. I don't want mine to be, you know, on a pedestal, but I want it to have some lift. I want it to definitely have a noticeable foot. I want to raise the plate. Now, the plates that I'm making today are made for a wall installation. So it's going to hang on the wall. So this determines how far out from the wall it will stick, right? Of course, I've made beer mugs. I've made plenty of beer mugs in my day. Actually just made a flask, a really awesome whiskey flask with A10 aircraft on it. A10 Warthogs. But it's a tank killer flask, and it is so awesome you won't even believe it. And I gave it to my favorite Marine, because I'm just that kind of girl. That's right. Yay! My flask. There he is. That's my stalker. KP Metrics. You're here. Yes, the grandma was thrilled. The grandma was thrilled. So I'm just going to clean up the crud. A potterette. A potterette. A potterette. I like how Jaime Coco calls us potterers. Potterers. A potterette. I like potterette. So this is done. These are my feet. So I have, let's count them. How many feet do we have in here? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So I've got 6 feet happening here. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. I don't know if you can even see the rib marks I made. It doesn't look like you can. I'll give you a close-up. There's my ribs. What are feet? So now you can see them. So I just made these marks, and when I go ahead and cut them, I will cut, you know, they're pre-measured. And also now I know how many plates I can make. And I made 3 already. Now I got to go make 3 more in order to have enough for my foot rings. And this I will cover overnight, and then tomorrow I will stick them on, and I'll scope that too. And I'm also making grenades tomorrow. Yeah, you heard me. Grenades. It's happening tomorrow. So you can catch that, because I'm going to put the grenades on the plates. Grenades are happening. Toby asked what a foot is, you guys. Yeah, grenades are going down. Toby, so when you have a plate you have your front part of your plate, and then you have what's called the foot. This is the bottom. This is what it sits on. So it's the foot. Yeah, well, you all can go to my Etsy website, The Porcelain Soldier, and I have grenade necklaces there. You can get one. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for today. I mean, I'm going to make some more plates. I'm going to go roll them out, and that's it. That's all I got. You didn't see any grenades on my Etsy site, Jamie, or something else? Yeah, The Porcelain Soldier. Scroll to the bottom of my listings. I think they rearrange stuff. They rearrange things on me without asking, you know. They don't ask my permission and they stick them at the bottom. Oh, want to see the foam? Yeah, let's do the foam quickly. Hold on. I'm going to grab the foam for you. Here, while I do that, you can just look at the cylinder. Let me get the foam. Okay, got foam. From all the potterers. There's the foam. Hanging out. So the foam, will go up high. U2, I love U2. I love them. I don't care if they're old. I still like them. Potterers rule. So this is my foam, and it's big, and it was a toddler mattress. But you can go to an upholstery shop, and I'm sure you can find, well, it was a toddler mattress, and I had a kid, well, had a kid that was a toddler who's no longer a toddler. And now, I know, well, she isn't bad. Kids that sleep on this, come on, it had to be thick. I mean, really, would you want to sleep on a foam mattress this thick? This is what I'm going to take my plate slab, lay it on, then the magic happens. My little wooden disc, I will press this wooden disc into the clay on the foam and pop. What did I use to cut it? My husband cut it upstairs. KP Metrics, are you still here? What'd you cut this thing with? That's my husband, is KP Metrics. You guys, he stalks me on Periscope. And I never see him. He's like, I watched your scope today live. And I'm like, I didn't see you there. So, and I finally saw him. Bandsaw. Okay, he cut it on a bandsaw. That's what I thought. Yeah, he's great. He's just keeping an eye on me, you know. He's worried. He thinks I'm going to get into trouble or something. He thinks that I'm, you know, up to mischief. All right, so I got this big lump of clay to wedge. I'm going to make some more plates, and I will scope pressing them out. When can you see me do the foam thing? Maybe this evening. They're very wet, so it's going to be at least until like 6 East Coast time before I can get to them. If not, I'm going to do them tomorrow morning. Keeping me out, I know, looking out for me. The blocker puppet. yeah, KP, he likes the puppet scopes a lot. Yeah, let's say 6 o'clock tonight, I'll press out plates. So you all come back and see me at 6 tonight. Trying to think, we'll say 6 because that's a good time. Does he ever mess up a cut? Or an egg? No, yeah, he changed his profile because you like shamed him into it, and I made him. He changed his profile to the flask I made him. So it's that awesome flask I was talking about earlier. I hope he changed it. So, all right, guys, have an awesome day. It's supposed to be 50 here in Vermont. I can't wait. I'm so glad to share. Casting, I don't know what casting we're asking about, but you're still an egg. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. So you have to go, maybe you have to go into Periscope and change it. Anyhow, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. It was great seeing you all, and I'm going to go work. So, well, I'm glad to share it in the UK. All right, guys. Take care. I'll catch you later. Bye.